So now we're going to look at chapter 2. We're going to talk about nonverbals. And so we know that nonverbal communication is about 60 to 70% of all communication. And there's a little video that you can watch attached to the PowerPoint. When we think about counseling and nonverbal communication, we want to look at several things. And I want to kind of demonstrate those things. One of the most important things is posture. And so this is the part where most people kind of trip up when they're first beginning to learn counseling. So when we think about our posture with the client, we want to have everything open. So I don't want to cross my legs, I don't want to cross my arms, and I want to have a slight forward lean. And so let's kind of look at what's the difference in this and this, right? And so even though I'm saying the same things, I look much less engaging, much less approachable when my arms and legs are crossed, right? If I sit up straight in a very rigid position, then I still look unapproachable. So I want to sit forward and have that slight forward lean as I'm working with my clients. If I have a client who is very distressed, who begins to cry, who has real difficulty, I want to lean even more forward to let them know I'm with them. So I also want to have really good eye contact. You guys may notice when someone's not listening to you, right, that their eyes move away. If they're looking at the ceiling, if they're looking at the floor, if they're staring over here, they don't look engaged. And so our eye contact needs to be consistent, not staring a hole into the client, but we talk about soft eyes. So engaging the client in a meaningful way with good eye contact. We also want to think about vocal tone. We want our tone of voice to match the tone of voice of the client. So if the client gets very excited and starts talking like this, I want to be excited too. If the client talks about a crisis or a death and they become quiet, I want to quiet my tone and I want to soften my tone. Imagine if a client said, well, I came here today because my parent just died. And you went, oh, I'm so sorry your parent just died, right? My tone doesn't match the client or the situation. So I want to be genuine in my tone to match what they're feeling and what they're saying. So I also want to look at encouragers. So encouragers are phrases or short words like, okay, yes, oh, right? And so I want to say those things along the way to let the client know I'm listening and to encourage them to continue to talk. I also want to look at habits. Everybody has some kind of annoying habit. And for some of you, your hair twirlers, some of you drum your fingers, some of you twirl your glasses, some of you tap your foot. And so as you are learning, you want to look at what habit do I have that maybe I need to watch that might be distracting to my client. And so these are basic nonverbals that we want to utilize as we're learning to counsel. Something that would be great for you to do in the next couple weeks is to practice with a friend or a family member, just listening, use those nonverbals and see how that goes. And ask them to give you a little bit of feedback based on what you've learned. You guys are going to do great. You're going to be outstanding counselors. Keep practicing.